Hola clase, this is Señora Seagroves here to talk to you about the verb ir. It's spelled I-R, but it is pronounced ir. Now the verb ir means to go. We've seen this verb before in our vocab list in the phrase ir al cine, which means to go to the movies or the cinema. Now, ir is an irregular verb, and you just have to memorize how to conjugate it. In fact, all the conjugations of ir look nothing like the verb ir, but it makes it a unique verb, and it's a lot of fun to use and very useful. So your first version, the yo or I version of ir, is voy. This is the yo or the I version, so it means I go. And then you have the tu, or the you informal version, which is vas. So it's the tu, or you informal, and that means you go. Let's try a couple examples with these before we go on to any other conjugations. Let's use the phrase ir al cine to get a couple of examples. So in order to say, I go to the movies, you would say voy al cine. Just like ir al cine, but ir is conjugated for the yo or the I version. So voy al cine means I go to the movies or to the cinema. And then if you wanted to say you go, you buddy, you informal, you go to the movies, that would be vas al cine. So that's you informal, go to the movies. Very good. Now the next conjugation of the verb ir is va. So that's the él, which means he, ella, which means she, it, and also you formal, which is usted. So if you wanted to say he goes to the movies, you would say él va al cine. That's he goes to the movies. Now we used él, the pronoun, in front here because in this conjugation you have several options. You have él, ella, or usted. So it's nice to put the pronoun in front so everyone knows who you're talking about. You could do the same thing with ella if you wanted to say she goes to the movies. Ella va al cine. Just she goes to the movies. Or usted if you were talking to Mr. Keim and you want to say you're going to the movies, Mr. Keim. You could say usted va al cine. So I mean you formal go to the movies. We're going to continue on with the conjugations of ir. And the next version is the nosotros, or the we version, and it's vamos. So that's the nosotros, or we version. So it means we go to the movies. I'm sorry, ir, vamos means we go. If you wanted to say we go to the movies, it would be vamos al cine. And then the last conjugation we have is van. That's the ellos, which is they masculine, ellas, which is they feminine, and ustedes, which is the y'all or you guys version. So if you wanted to say they, that group of girls goes to the movies, you'd say ellas van al cine. They go to the movies. Or if you had a group of guys or a group of mixed girls and guys, you could say ellos for they. Ellos van al cine. They, could be guys or a mixed group, go to the movies. Or if you want to say y'all, you guys, you go to the movies, it could be ustedes van al cine. And that would be you all go to the movies. Those are the conjugations of the verb ir and how to use them in the example of ir al cine, go to the movies. Now we have the conjugations of the form ir, and we can say I go, you go, he, she, it, or you formal goes, we go, or they or y'all go. But this is incomplete. Usually when you're using the verb ir, you are going to someplace. So we need to learn how to say I go to someplace. We're going to again use the example ir al cine to figure out how to say to. We all now know that the verb ir means to go, so we have that part down. And then cine is like the cinema or the movies. Now we have this weird word in the middle, al. Al is actually the Spanish version of a contraction. It is two words squished together. The two words that are squished together are the words a and the word el. Now everyone knows that el means the. So if we were to stretch out this contraction in ir al cine, you would have ir a el cine. So ir would mean to go, a means to, el means the, and then cine would be cinema or movies. So to go to the cinema, but we just squished a and el together to make the word al. So keep that in mind. Whenever you see a and el together, squish them together to make the word al. Now from this phrase, we now know that a means to. So we're going to take a look at our vocab for this week, which is around the school, and say a couple places that we go to in the school. For example, if I wanted to say, I'm going to Spanish class, or I go to Spanish class, you'd have to start off with the correct form of ir. We go up here to voy, because I'm talking about myself, I go. Voy, and then to is a. So voy a, I go to. And then we're going to say, I go to Spanish class. So voy a la clase de español. So that means I go to the Spanish class. Let's try another one. Let's say you informal are going somewhere. Let's say you go to the science class. Start off with the correct form of ir, vas, for to, you informal. And then the word for to is a. And then la clase de ciencia, which means you informal go to the science class. Let's try another one. Let's try we go. We go to the English class. First we have to find the correct form of ir, meaning to go. If we're talking about we, nosotros, we have to find vamos. So vamos a, we go to, la clase de inglés. That means we go to the English class. Now let's try one more. Let's try we go to the hallway. Now let's try they go to the hallway. So first we're going to go up and find the correct form of ir, which is van, for they go. And we have to, which is a. And then the word for hallway is el vestíbulo. But wait, take a close look. We have a and el. So that means we have to get rid of those two words and put in the word al. So vamos al vestíbulo. We go to the hallway. So be very, very careful whenever you see a and el together. Squish them together into that Spanish contraction and make the word al. Now, if you have any questions on the verb ir, its conjugations, or how to use it, or the word al, of course, you may come find me in class, or email me as well would work. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in class.